Before the world knew what grunge was, and before Seattle became the center of a musical movement, there was a voice, not polished, not predictable, but powerful enough to rise above distortion and define an era. That voice belonged to Chris Cornell. Born and raised in Seattle, Chris Cornell grew up surrounded by isolation, rain, and a music scene that wasn't trying to fit into the mainstream. In 1984, he helped form Soundgarden, alongside guitarist Kim Thayil and bassist Hiro Yamamoto. The three were part of Seattle's tight-knit underground scene, where musicians often crossed paths in small clubs and rehearsal spaces. Thayil brought a heavy, riff-driven guitar style rooted in metal and psychedelic rock. Yamamoto contributed a melodic but steady low-end foundation, and Cornell, at first, sat behind the drum kit while also handling vocals. It was an unusual setup. Few frontmen begin as drummers. As the band's sound evolved, Scott Sundquist briefly stepped in on drums, allowing Cornell to focus more fully on singing. Sundquist was replaced by Matt Cameron, a drummer whose precision and technical strength would become central to the band's identity. With that lineup solidified, Cornell on vocals, Thayil on guitar, Yamamoto on bass, and Cameron on drums, Soundgarden began defining itself, becoming one of the earliest architects of what the world would later call grunge. Seattle's underground scene was forming, and Soundgarden was building something heavier, darker, and more complex than anything on the radio. As the late 1980s unfolded, Soundgarden stood at the forefront of Seattle's growing alternative movement. Their sound blended heavy metal, punk rock, and psychedelia, layered with unusual rhythms and dense guitar textures. But what truly set them apart was Cornell's vocal range. He could shift from a low, haunting tone to a soaring wail within seconds. While other bands gained attention, Soundgarden established credibility. They weren't chasing trends, they were shaping them. By the early 1990s, the Seattle sound had gone global. Then came Superunknown. The album marked Soundgarden's full arrival on the world stage. It debuted at #1 and proved that complex, heavy music could dominate the mainstream. But beneath the commercial success was something deeper: introspective lyrics, abstract themes, and emotional intensity. Cornell wasn't writing simple rock anthems. He was exploring isolation, contradiction, and the tension between strength and vulnerability. Black Hole Sun became the defining moment of that era. Its surreal tone and hypnotic melody carried Cornell's voice into millions of homes worldwide. But even at the height of success, there was no sense of simplicity. Soundgarden remained musically ambitious, unwilling to dilute their sound. Seattle may have sparked the movement, but Cornell's presence pushed it beyond regional identity. What made Chris Cornell unique was that he never felt confined to one label. While often grouped under grunge, his influences stretched far wider. He could strip everything back to an acoustic performance and command complete silence. He could collaborate across styles, he could evolve. Cornell wasn't preserving a scene, he was growing beyond it, and that evolution kept him relevant long after the initial explosion of Seattle bands faded from headlines. Behind the strength of his voice was a deeply reflective artist. Like many musicians of his generation, Cornell faced personal struggles and the pressures of global fame. Those tensions often surfaced in his lyrics, layered, poetic, sometimes ambiguous. His music carried weight because it was honest. The contrast between power and vulnerability became his signature. Chris Cornell did more than front a band. He helped expand what heavy music could be. He proved that intensity could coexist with introspection. From the early days of Soundgarden in Seattle to worldwide recognition, his voice remained unmistakable. Not just loud, but expressive. Not just powerful, but human. His influence continues to echo through modern rock, because Chris Cornell didn't just rise with Seattle, he rose beyond it. And all of us at Loud Lore are sure glad that he did.